Hello, YouTube coin community. It's Robert with CoinHelpu, and today we are going to be speaking with Mike and Daniel. Here we go. There's Daniel Malone with CoinHelpu. Wave and say hi, Daniel.
Hello, everybody.
And that's Mike. He is the project manager and co-founder of Mintstate Coin Technologies. Yeah, and we are going to be discussing today about a new app up and coming that, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to let either Mike or Daniel, either whoever, I think, Daniel, you start with it because everyone knows you and you can explain more about what we're going to be discussing tonight.
Well, the project is Mintstate Coin Technologies, as some of you already know, and Mike is the lead developer here. Also, like I said, co-founder, and me and Mike talk a lot about this and have kind of helped as far as with ideas and inspiration and things like that come from me. But it's coin technology. Mintstate Coin Technologies is coin software for the coin collector. We have coin values. We also have where you can track your coin collection. And then upcoming in the future will be an artificial intelligence coin grading application that can potentially be used to give you an idea of the grade of your coins. Also, right now, we do have a coin identifier that you can use to kind of help you practice a little bit when we do have the AI out and ready to go. Then it also has another app that just came out, is a silver stacking app or gold precious metals. If you stack precious metals, you can go in and you can stack your precious metals, or you can track them and you can add them, and you have your collection up. So, Mike, you got some more things to add to that?
Yeah, you pretty much covered it. Just a bunch of different applications that were written specifically for the coin community, addressing different issues, different pieces of information that are sometimes hard to get, or when you do find it, it's not very recent, like coin pricing and so forth. We're trying to pull our applications together. We're trying to make the pricing work with the coin collection, so that can be tracked and kept up to date all the time. The identifier and the grader, of course, helps with the pricing as well. So all the applications are meant to work together. We've made the applications and the use of them absolutely free. There might be some revenue stream down the road, but it won't be for these types of features. It'll be for, some value add that we design in the future. Just meant to be a resource that everybody in the coin community can use.
So that's Mike, and he's behind the ideas, man, as far as how things are done, putting things together as far as the code and putting the site as the ideas. If you send him an email, this is the guy you send the email to, and he tries his best to improve, add, update, and different things like that, because this software is the future of coin collecting software. And I say that without any boundaries, because I honestly believe with this being the kind of software that a coin collector can help develop on the outside as far as what it does for the coin collector, there's no other software out there that does that, or has done that. So we allow input, and we take the input seriously, and we do everything we can to try to add those features to the program, and also it's designed towards the coin collector.
Yeah, another thing, everybody, we're going to be taking questions from Mike and Daniel or myself. So if you have questions about this technology, we'll be showing you it here shortly. Mike will give you a little bit of a display on it. So, but we will be allowing people to ask questions. So if you have a question, you may want to be thinking about it, and feel free to ask any question. So we welcome everybody. And this here, like Daniel said, this is the future, and it's rapidly, would you say, approaching?
Yeah, I mean, it's not really slow. I mean, everything takes some time. Doug Ford, are proofs going to be added to the coin collection part?
Whoops. There we go.
Proofs will eventually. You want me to answer that, Daniel? Proofs eventually will be added. As you know, there's a lot of different coin types out there right now. There's It's almost 50,000 different pricing, based on the grade, the type, the different designations, different varieties, and so forth. There's just a lot of pricing out there. We're trying to pull it in. What we started with is what we thought would be kind of the most common. What a lot of people would use, the majority. But we know that there's collectors in every corner of the coin community. Some are specializing in collecting in proofs, and special mint sets will be added eventually. Gold coins we don't have yet. We are adding designations at this point, and I don't know if that question, if that user had used it before, but if you go to like the coin value, a lot of it is based on this coin value. Once we have the pricing there, we do want to link it into the collection so that your pricing can be updated automatically, or at least have that option. So until we have a lot of the other designations, proofs, and whatnot in the system, the coin collection part will be kind of manual. You can put in your pricing, you can put in that it is a proof, and so forth, under the variety and whatnot, because it's kind of free form. It'll become more rigid, or it can become more rigid, where the automation will take over a little bit for you and help you update your collection in the future.
Now, one of the things that I did this morning when my failed attempt at doing a video was when I clicked on, I think it was it's something that didn't have a proof, and when I clicked on it, it was the 76S, a 1976S Washington quarter. So you can go, yeah, that's good. And obviously that's the proof. That's the SMS or the Mintstate version of the silver, 40% silver. So when I clicked on it, I showed everybody they could go to eBay and they could actually put an S instead of the D in the search and still find the value that way until we get this updated. So that was one of the things that I did, that I was trying to do to show them that. So you're not limited. I mean, it leads you to a place where it shows you the sold coin auction. You can add proof to it. You can add proof 69 or whatever. That way it would help you out that way.
I don't remember what year you said, Daniel, but
1976, 1976D, actually.
76D. So you went here on the link. So you had the
And
pricing for the non.
Yes.
Okay.
And I went to eBay and changed the D to an S. Well, that's 74, but it doesn't matter. Of course, it does matter, I guess. But yeah, that's what I did. Just changed and modified a little bit until we get it all added, all the different types added.
It's still convenient to have that link there. It brings you right to it, opens
Yeah,
up
exactly.
a tab and so forth. And if you have to modify the search to kind of hone in on a coin that you're interested in looking at, then that's what you got to do.
Yeah, and like I said, when you look at the screen there, the little pop-up, the ones that everybody's watching this can see, and you can explain all the different links here.
When you're in the coin value app, like Daniel just mentioned, he was looking for a certain coin. If it's not on here, definitely you can go and search it on other resources. But we are providing our own pricing. It comes from a multitude of sources, auctions and dealers, and there's almost a dozen right now sources that we're pulling pricing from, more and more. And if you click on the link there, it'll show you some of the most popular ones. So if you want to research, that particular date, the 70 Philadelphia Washington quarter, you can go to eBay just like we did, and you can look at pricing for sold auction items. You can go to live as well, and it's going to search for that particular coin for you. It's going to do all that kind of work for you. You can go to heritage auctions and do the same for sold and live. And then you have the different grading services and a few different pricing services as well that you can click on NGC here. And what it'll do, it'll open up a new tab for you, but it'll take you to NGC, right to the quarters, We can't get directly to the page, but you are very close, and now you could scroll down to the 7DD that you were looking for and get their pricing. So it's meant to be an assistant. It's meant to be a tool that'll help you pull all the pieces together, do that research that, a lot of experts say, this is how you do it. You want a price on it, you got to look in more than one place, and you got to kind of, do some investigating, and this tool is to help you do that. We also have, some metal resources, so that, that's a silver quarter right now. Melt value on that's $4.25, but it'll show you the spot pricing for the different metals. And if you needed to add that particular coin at a certain grade into the collection part of this set of applications, you can select a grade and just click the button, and you've added all the pricing information. Really, all you have to do is add photos after that, if you choose to have the photos in your collection as well.
Yeah, and Lincoln Cent Resource said that he used it on his iPhone. Yeah, this is just like it can be used on any device. It's mobile, desktop. It's just like any app. You actually put an icon on your phone, on your home phone. It's like an app, and click on it and go right to it.
We are developing an application. It will be out in the near future, weeks to probably the most a month. But what will happen is when you do that, and I can give you an example of what it looks like. Your coin value application on a mobile phone, it's a little hard to see, but a mobile phone like an iPhone 6 or 7, it would look something like this. This is an emulator that you all can do just by hitting F12 on your browser and clicking the mobile button. It'll squeeze it to that size. But as you can see, the tables, it looks like they're cut off or whatnot, but they scroll. So you can very quickly, find your coin of interest, go to the grade of interest, and get your pricing. You can also do the link as well, and that will, again, open up a new tab on your phone, or not a tab, but actually another browser window on most phones, with that search, in place.
Yeah, well, you answered the question from Peter Geohagen, because I was about to ask that. So I hope that answered that question. Hello, everybody. And like I say, if you guys have any questions about the app or about the application, feel free to ask questions. We will be watching the chat and answering all the questions that we see. And again, this here is AI intelligence, guys.
That's something I would like for you to talk about a little bit, Mike, is that, you're using artificial intelligence for a lot of this. I don't know how much of it. I know for the grading, and I know some other things, the coin identifier. But maybe expound on that a little bit. How much is that being used?
Sure. Well, definitely for anything that deals with the images of coins will be, based on AI technology. So you're uploading a photo of a coin and you want it identified. You want to know, what type of coin it is if you don't know what type of coin it is, or the type, or, just some assistance there. For, most coin collectors, they know the types of all the coins. But for some, it is of assistance, and it's a way for us to kind of demonstrate the AI technology. Once you upload a photo, it goes into commercial quality AI neural networks, the same networks that Microsoft, Google use. In fact, it's their models. They are extremely powerful. They're very big. It takes a lot of server resources to train on the images, and it also takes a lot of resources just to take your photo and identify which it is. It's about 4 gigs of memory per run of the particular model. The AI, as far as identification is fairly standard, typical. It's called a classification model. For the grader, though, you have to go way beyond a category classifier, and that's where our proprietary technology, our systems, our processes come in. We tried to do the standard, and it was It was like throwing darts at a dartboard, and you're not a professional. The grade just wasn't there. It might get close occasionally. So we had to think way outside the box, and we've done that. It took us, 6 months to a year to really figure it out. We've gotten to pretty good accuracy, and we're waiting for a little bit more budget to perfect it. It's like anything else. It's if you take cell phones, even better, the auto driving cars, as an example, it doesn't come about overnight. Someone doesn't get the idea and they throw it in the magic AI machine and out pops the answer. It started decades ago with cruise control, and then adaptive cruise control, and then lane departure. And the technology's got there for navigation systems, the LiDAR that they use now. It just, the technology and the programming and the processes, they all improve over time. And this is how this will be as well. Photos can only go so far, especially if the quality of the photos aren't consistent. So we have to do the best with what the technologies are right now, but knowing that version 1 can only get better with version 2 and version 3. So we're trying to produce a first version that is not going to be disappointing to people. It's not going to be dart throwing. It's going to be pretty close, and with the knowledge that it will get better and better.
Now that's good. That's what I wanted to hear too, because it's hard for me to explain because I don't know that end of it. That's the part that I know that we have the technology that can lead to this, but it's someone like you to come up with, like you said, you had to be a little innovative, and because no one does coin grading. I mean, it's different, not the same thing. No two coins are exactly alike, and no two coins the same grade are exactly alike.
Right.
And we know that, and we can see that. We just have to teach a computer to see that and tell us that's what it's seeing, basically by spitting out a result.
There's a lot of hurdles, and we just have to, cross each or jump each hurdle, as they come up.
I just think of it as a baby. We still have an infant here. You got a lot of 6-month-old that's learning how to, try to crawl, and next thing you know, it'll be a year or two, and they're walking, and they're getting into things they shouldn't. No, but I can see it. To me, it's like a baby to me, because and I know it's kind of cliche, but it's the truth, because it starts out not knowing hardly anything, but the potential's there, and it starts growing and growing and maturing, and next thing you know, you got an adult. And adults usually typically better at things than an infant, obviously. Except maybe pooping and eating. We're always good at that. But yeah, it's exciting for me. I'm really excited about it. Yeah.
It all starts somewhere, and you can see what we've done in just a relatively short amount of time and a very limited budget, and it's just going to get better from here.
Daddy Mods asked, "What about a 3D scanner?"
Okay. That is probably a technology that could definitely replace image technology. It's going to be more accurate. The problem with the laser scanning, like you would use for 3D printing and so forth, is the resolution isn't there. To get down to the details of the coin, down to scratches, things that are recognizable on an image, you have to get very high resolution. And the resolution on like consumer products definitely isn't there. And I think they're on the verge of it on the kind of the commercial side, but it's very expensive. What you would be talking about is a laser scan, probably needs to be about 10 to 100 times more powerful than what's commercially available, at least for the consumer at a reasonable price. And the technology just isn't quite there. It is going to take a whole lot of memory too. So it's kind of one of those things. I would see that in 5 to 10 years being available, but probably only for the grading services, and not not in your home on your desktop or on your phone somehow. A scanner for over a decade.
But the phone quality pictures will be work with the app to where you'll be able to get grading if you'd like.
Yes. And again, it's an estimate. It can only get so close. It really depends on the quality of the image. But if you wanted to get down to the very best ability to grade, it would be a laser scanning type of technology. But it's just not there yet.
Okay. I just want to let everyone know real quick that, folks, right down in the description, I have a link to the Mintstate coin technologies. So if you'd like to go there and search out the website, and also the same name, okay, the Mintstate coin technologies is on YouTube. Go there and subscribe. That way there you'll be included in all the updates. I just wanted to throw that out there. I'll throw it out again later, but there is a link to the website. And as I say, you can take and you can also search him on YouTube and find his channel there, where he gives a lot more information and updates.
There are videos on each of our applications that step by step will train you on how to use them. They're not that long. They're like 5, 6, 7 minutes, most of them. But it'll show you all the different features. Some of them are a little outdated. We do updates very, very quickly, very regularly. So you might see some features that after you've watched the video that are a little bit different when you actually use it, but they'll be intuitive. You'll know what to do.
It's
a lot of it's taking pictures too. Good pictures if you do the identifier.
It's time if people want coin collecting and numismatics in general to catch up with technology. You've got to catch up a little bit too. You got to learn how to take better pictures. You got to learn how to use some things that might be just a little bit more difficult than it used to be. It's no different than when phones first came out. You had to learn how to use them. Now everybody's pretty good at it. I mean, I remember watching my nieces and my kids, and they were just going away with their phones. And I'm like, how in the world? And I wanted a big keyboard in front of me. Now I can do it. I got the fat thumbs carrying on with it. So it's just going to take everybody to grow with this together. And that's all part of it. That's why we have the tutorials. That's why we're having this video. And that's why, we're willing to try to, and especially Mike, trying to change it to update it to make it more user friendly. That's the whole goal, and to let it grow. We're all growing together with this. Just like I said, it's like a baby, man. We're all training it and talking about it and telling how beautiful it is and nice it is. And next thing you know, it'll be a grown adult program.
Yeah.
Okay, Mark Abner asked, hello, how long do you think it will take the big three will get on board with AI grading, assuming that they do? And do you think they will play well with each other? That, I think, is probably a very hard question for us three to answer.
I can tell you my opinion.
Yeah, but that's all
as well together right as they are right now.
Right.
It's not going to change. And as far as them AI, it's going to be this: prove it grades. That's what you're going to have to do, and then they're going to try to imitate it. So with anything that goes with anything.
I really doubt they're going to try to do any grading through image processing. I mean, that's a technology that can be done right now, but isn't as accurate as, in-hand grading by experts. But I believe, and I'm not an expert in this field by any means, but if I were them, I would have already been exploring, the laser technology like we were talking about. That is something they will probably implement in their grading in some form or fashion in the coming years. And again, that could be a decade away, so don't hold your breath. But use photo grading in the meantime, and that'll get you close. And when you want that slab, when you want that certification, you are going to have to send it in to them. We're not involved in that in any way. We're just giving you a close estimate. So those that aren't familiar with, the grading process aren't very good at it, at least can get some help there.
Yeah, I think PCGS they do something with what is this Cure Shield, and so that they map the coin. They do something with that, and they've got the chip technology obviously on their slabs. But yeah, I think so, because if you can resubmit the coin, make sure that it's authentic, or it's something like that. I read about. I heard it called us Coin Sniffer at one time.
They're probably fingerprinting the coin.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. They're mapping it. It's something.
They're trying to figure out if they're getting resubmissions, and by basically mapping out the flaws, it's kind of like doing a fingerprint or face recognition, based on certain points on the coin, might be scratches and marks of some kind. The positioning of that, the angles between them, the distance between them gets fairly unique, just as unique as a fingerprint. And they're probably they probably have some systems involved with that, would be my guess. Again,
and that's something I never.
Speculation.
Yeah. As far as this being able to identify counterfeit coins, is that another ball game here? Because I really haven't talked about that with you much at all.
Well, it depends on how good the counterfeit is. I mean, a lot of things can be hidden in an image, and a lot of counterfeits, you have them in your hand. Even some experts, might have a hard time, or it wouldn't be, readily available if it's sitting on the table. That that's the counterfeit, that's the fake one, and that's the real one. So think of it as our systems is going to be like having a coin dealer. On video, maybe they don't get to hold the coin, but they get to see a picture of the coin, and they can give you kind of their advice or their estimate of grade and so forth. But if you wanted the real grade, you have to have coin in hand, and that would be same for detecting counterfeits and so forth.
Yeah.
Okay, Daddy Mod says, what is your best method of taking pictures? I'm assuming this is for the application, so.
We have a video out there that I actually did. Sorry, but if you go to our channel, there's a video. It's fairly short, but it has you use your phone, and excuse me, a few items to help you stabilize the phone. A selfie ring and just a plumbing fitting. But if you put them all together, it shows you how to do this. It holds the phone steady. It makes it real easy to position the coin, to focus the coin, to adjust your lighting, because you're kind of hands-free at that point. That's one method. Of course, you can have professional equipment and, special stand for it, and, special lighting and whatnot. That's how the pros do it. You can use microscopes too. A lot of times the microscopes are a little grainy, and it's hard on the bigger coins to get far enough away to get the whole coin. But all three methods can work, especially for our application.
And also, it looks like, is there any form of absolute certification at this time for AI? There's no. I mean, this is all kind of new, as far as what you're doing, because like I said, that was Daddy Mods. He asked that question as well. I mean, this is, like you said, it's proprietary. You had to come up with something different because it takes so much computing power or software to,
the traditional methods of category classification, AI models, even the commercial ones, even the largest of them, we had to abandon, myself and the other programmers involved, pretty much had to abandon after we attempted it. It just didn't get to the results that you needed to get to. That's when we had to go out of the box and employ some different layers of AI, some different techniques and processes and so forth. And with that, and a lot of tinkering, a lot of trial and error, and a lot of time, a lot of samples, a lot of training, we were able to achieve our benchmark for the prototype. And at this point, that's kind of where it sits until we can get more samples and more funding to take it from prototype to commercial use or public use.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, I've been through the cyber booms. I mean, all the new stuff that came out. I mean, the internet 95, and then eBay and all of it. Now we're looking at something that's actually new. You've helped create something. I mean, this is why it's so exciting to me. I didn't know at first that was ever going to happen. I thought the AI out there could do it. That shows how much I knew about it. I had that much confidence in it. And like I said, we're standing on something that said this is the future of coin collecting as far as software is concerned, and especially as far as something to help you grade your coin, give you an idea what it is. I mean, that's as far as we are planning at the moment. You just never know how things can go. But yeah, that's everybody that's watching this video. I mean, everybody's seen all of our videos. This is, phenomenal. This is phenomenal to me. It's really good to hear. And I'd never get tired of hearing it. Me and Mike have meetings all the time, and we talk about it. But it's still, I just can't wait to see where it goes. I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad Mike got in. That's the backstory on it. I did a video on artificial intelligence. What was it? I don't know. It was 2019.
It was quite a couple of years ago.
And I think, in September, you sent me an email and asked if I was interested in maybe giving some advice on, next thing you know, here we are, yep. A little over a year later, and
you were the inspiration. Kind of the backstory on my end. I was doing research for a client that we were building some AI components for their application, and I was searching YouTube for some different topics on it, and I had also been searching coins, and YouTube actually put the two together. And I came up with your video as a recommendation. So I watched it, and
the stars aligned.
Yeah, all came together.
And so that's the thing. This should be exciting to everybody that's watching this. I mean, like I said, we've talked about funding, and we're not sitting here begging for money. That's not the point. But it does help everybody contributing. Investors always usually get involved with this kind of stuff, and it helps propel it along. And that's what we're going to need. I mean, it's just not free. That's the unfortunate thing. And time is money, and there's only so much time in a day. I've got a full-time coin shop, and Mike's got all kinds of projects. And you said you got your office at home right now, so we've got COVID. The COVID kind of blew things up a little bit too. It doesn't help. Didn't help a whole lot with everybody's lives either. So 2020 will definitely be hindsight 2020 whenever January 1st rolls around.
Our program. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, I just had one question here. I seen somebody make a comment about having a 64x scope. My question to you is for the photographs. I know on different cameras, be it phone or just the SLR, whatever it may be, is there, I know they vary from like 4 megapixels all the way up to 32. Is there a preference for the AI at this point, or can you use, is one better than the other, or can you use any of them?
You're going to find if you use the very high resolution, anything above, 4 megs is probably the resolution that we would prefer on the AI model. Anything higher than that, we have to standardize. We have to downsize a little bit. So it's kind of a waste. You're wasting bandwidth uploading it. So anywhere from 2 to 4, is really what we're looking for on the megabytes. We have some minimums as far as resolution of 1,000 pixels from edge of coin to edge of coin. So that's a meg right there. So you could submit something just slightly over a megabyte, and it would qualify on the resolution. We also have a check on the system for focus and for contrast and bit depth. So the system will do some checking of your photo. It'll tell you, hey, it's out of focus, or it's not a high enough resolution for us to determine the grade or identify the coin type. But yeah, you don't have to go crazy with the resolution. Something 2 to 4 is probably more than adequate.
Okay, Mike, would you like to show maybe a little bit of the application, how to use it?
Real fast. Jackie Alley was asking about dropping information. Yes, go over to the website, mintstate.com, and there are, if you're wanting to help out in any way, just send them an email. There is a donate button if you're talking about that, but if you're just wanting to help out, there is an email you can send. I wanted to add that here.
While we're on that topic, just to let you all know, our programming team, we'd love to get comments, emails from you all by going to the website and filling out the contact form, or that's how most people are doing it. We'd love to see the comment. We'd love to see the ideas. A lot of the ideas inspire us to either create something very similar to it, or modify it, or expand upon that idea, or use that idea directly in some cases as a new feature for part of our application. So we love that. We also are developing a little bit of a following. We're trying to develop some supporters that would assist us, give their time. Give their time for helping us with beta testing, with coin pricing reviews, and so forth. So beyond, using the site, of course, use the site and promote it, be an influencer. The more people we have going to it, we do earn some revenues based on advertising and so forth. So there's a lot of ways people can help out if, you like the concept, and, beyond donation. I know not everybody can do that, so forth. If you have time, that's even more valuable than a donation. So just let us know by going to the site and contacting us, and I will be most likely the one communicating with you, because most of the emails go through me.
Okay. If you'd like, just to let everyone know, I have played with the beta testing to help a little bit. I don't have as much time as I'd like Daniel. I'm busy. But actually, it's kind of fun. My son seen me doing it, and he played on my computer and my login information, but he played with it for about an hour. He almost played it as a game, to be honest. So he was having a good time. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Let me change screens, and if you'd like to show Mike a little bit of...
Well, it's just to remind everybody, the identifier is available, to the public. If I go to the main screen here, if you go to AI coin identifier, you can launch the application right here, or from the menu and so forth. The AI coin grader is not publicly available yet. It's only, it's in development. It's only available to certain people that are testing and programming, developing it. But to give you an idea, here's one of the screens. And just to kind of describe what you are seeing here, you're hearing my phone. We've uploaded a Morgan dollar here, and in a prior step. It's kind of a 5-step process. But we've uploaded a Morgan dollar, and one of the first steps was to center it. But we're at step 4 here, and what it's doing is there's a template on the screen here, and what it's wanting you to do is align the coin up so that the template matches the details of the coin. You only have to get it close. In fact, I'll kind of mess this one up a little bit, and if you zoom in on it, well, here, we'll put it in color. You'll see that it might be hard to tell on the TV screen or whatever, but we're not really aligned very well. But if you get it close, what you do, and you can use these controls to get it close. And by the way, if you're on a mobile phone, you can use rotate, 2-finger rotate, and pinch it to change the zoom and drag it around with your finger. But when you get it close, you can check the alignment. The system has a special programming that'll go in and align this perfectly to the template. The template was designed to accommodate, the different VAMs for the different years and so forth. So there's a little bit of slack, a little slop in there, but it uses that to adjust alignment. So here it said, well, what you had was kind of close, and I needed to rotate it a little. I needed to zoom it a little, and I actually needed to adjust the camera angle, because you want to be 90 degrees perpendicular to the coin when you take the picture, to get it to match the template. So I can apply those changes. And now if we zoom in on the coin, you'll see that, the template here, all the characters and details and so forth are within the boundaries. So it does take a little practice. I think Daniel mentioned this, as far as using the controls and getting it close enough where this check alignment will work for you. If you're way off and you hit check alignment, it'll say, well, I'm going to move it a little, which I think is better, but it's not close, and I know it, and the system knows it. So you need to adjust it again, or press the check alignment button one more time and wait, the 10 seconds it takes or so, and it'll get it a little closer and closer and closer. But once it's there, you can continue on to next steps, and the next steps will, you'll do the reverse, of course, and then it'll take that information, those images aligned, and pass it through multi-layers of AI intelligence and algorithms and convolution filters and Fourier transforms. There's just a lot involved there. It takes about 30 seconds, or it can take up to that long, and it'll give you an estimate of the grade. We aren't quite done with it. We need more samples, and we need some more fine tuning. We found that the photos coming in from the general public, we needed to calibrate the system for the types of pictures we're getting, the quality of the pictures that we're getting. So that's kind of the process that's involved right now.
See you later, Mark Monkey Tech. I'm going to say bye to him. He's real excited. Learn a lot from him. You should be. I mean, this is not going to stop. It may be at a slow crawl as far as the AI, artificial intelligence grading, but slowly but surely it'll eventually happen. Just wait for some more stars to align here. They'll happen. But I think the slow pace is actually pretty good, because you get a chance to really look at it. You're not just cramming it until then next thing you know, you got a mess on your hands. Of course, like I said, you're a developer, so you know a little bit about that than I do, but you can get too much too soon sometimes and things.
Now, what Mike is doing right now in that program, I did this for a little bit in the beta testing. It looks a little different now. They've updated it. However, this was the part that I was talking about where I helped with the beta. Is it still, Mike, to where you can be too far out of bounds to where you have to?
Yeah, that just happened to me. I just kind of quickly threw it close and said check alignment. What the alignment's going to do, it's going to check. It actually is checking millions of combinations in this few seconds that it's working, but it's rotating it. It's changing its position, horizontal and vertical. It's skewing it for the camera angle. It's zooming in and out. It's trying it all to find the best combination of control settings that match. And here it thinks it found it, but it's needed a little more rotation, a little more zoom, and a little change in the vertical. And so it took me 2 times to get to that. You wouldn't want to start off with it being just way out of alignment. You'd be clicking that, 50 times, or it might even get into an area where it gets stuck. You have to have it fairly close, and it will eventually get to the best alignment.
Right now, Mike Esmack asked, is this for U.S. coins only?
Currently it is. Like it's just like not having all the the proofs and so forth in our pricing table. We have to start somewhere. We've started with U.S. coins as kind of our base. We would love to have the budget to expand to foreign coins, but that's not in the near-term plans.
And actually, everybody, just to let you know how far it's came, when I first started helping work with some of the beta, like I said, I did very minimal amounts of it. I think at that time you only had the Morgans that we were playing with. I mean, you may have been developing something else, but I only worked on the Morgans.
Morgans is what we chose for our first, our grading attempt. It's a
my
very
fault.
popular clone.
It's
What?
my fault.
It's your fault.
I love Morgan. Well, it's a big coin, and
It's
everybody.
a very popular coin. We probably, we're going to be able to find more samples of it because of that and so forth. So, that's what we started with, and that's what we created the prototype to grade. But yes, we intend for it not only to do Morgans, but for every coin type. that we can. We'll probably bring them in the order of request or popularity. The process is, at the final stages as far as what needs to be done for each coin type. And, once that is finalized, then it's just a matter of replicating the tasks involved for each different coin type.
And if you're watching that, you just saw it grade the coin, basically.
Right.
Here it's saying, based on that photo, it's a grade 8. And not sure what grade it was, but
I have to look, but it looked pretty close to that. I thought very good was my eyes.
You'll also see you get a distribution curve. So it may not be a grade 8, but maybe there's a chance it's a grade 6 or a grade 10, the grade on either side of it. Our goal is to be straight on, right on the grade. If you were to run the photo of a commercially graded coin in a slab, we want to match that at least 50% of the time. And the other 50% would be broken down into 40% of the time. It's just one grade off, one grade to either side. And the remaining 10% would be 2 grades off. So that's where we see the limitations. It's not necessarily the limitations, but where we've established our first benchmark. We want to get to that accuracy. And then we can move beyond that. Where we are seeing kind of inconsistencies is in the photos that are being submitted. So we have to adjust and calibrate for that. Put some systems in place that help identify that, hey, this is kind of a low contrast picture. You might want to take a better one, or adjust the grade, based on that. There's only so much we can do there, but those are the types of things that we're putting into the system.
Can I point out, if you don't mind, I recently, and I just wanted to bring this up because, sometimes it may not be that the application is off. It may be that the grading company itself is off, because I just bought a 3-legged buffalo and I'm not going to mention the company's name, but they graded it a VF20, and I submitted it to a well-known grading company, and it came back at XF45. That's a big disparaging in numbers there. But the only thing I'm wanting to point out is the application is pretty accurate. I've played with it, and I know what the coin grades were. And I would say your numbers were low there. I think when I did it, 98% of the time, the number was dead on the coin that I was showing. So,
because we had good images, and like you said, the better images, the easier.
Yeah, when we had very consistent images, the accuracy was higher, quite a bit higher. But what we found with real world type images that people would be submitting, that we're wanting to calibrate for those.
Tim Pace, do you guys think you'll attempt to load in varieties anytime soon? Well, in the future, there's potential. But the problem with the varieties is that you're going to have die marks for every single variety. Some coins have so many different double dies for each year and each mint. Then what if you have a new discovery? It's a double die and it's not showing up. Then you're going to have that issue. So, it's one of those things where maybe eventually they'll be able to say, yes, that is a true double die, or that's strike doubling, because there is a distinct difference. And the computer or software will be able to train to identify that, but it may not do every single variety or anything like that. Who knows? I mean, that's not the plan, but it wouldn't be a bad idea in the future to be able to identify some of the more popular varieties, like a 55 double die or something like that. And Mike would probably have a better to know answer on that one.
If you think of it this way, if you can take a picture, you can send it to Dan or show it to Daniel. If he can tell from the picture what it is, and be confident, be sure of it, an AI system can most likely be trained to at least come up with that opinion. Daniel might say, well, it's hard to tell, and I really need to see it, and I need to see it at different angles. I need to, have it in my hand. If that's the case, well, AI is probably not going to do it there either. Think of it as showing a picture to a coin expert and getting some expert opinion on it, but it's just a picture. It's not the real coin.
Then Robert Pintoff is asking, been quietly watching AI, fascinating, whether it's intelligence or imaging. This is the future. Do you guys need investors? Like I said, it's get over on mintstate.com, send Mike an email. You can talk to him about that, or donate button, however you want to. We appreciate everybody that's even considering that. Just watching the video, we appreciate it. That's good enough there. But it's definitely we're looking for anybody that's interested in helping in any way they want to, because that's what this is about. This is kind of a community effort here that we're trying to put it together as. So it benefits everybody.
There's a lot of expertise out there in the people that have been commenting. We could use some expertise in someone who's had a successful crowdfunding campaign. That's something I've never done. I don't think Daniel has either. He hasn't mentioned it. But if you have some expertise or know somebody who has some expertise, that's one way to fund this project. Again, influencers. If you're involved with a coin club, you run a coin club, or the people in charge, coin shows and so forth, YouTube channels, any way to drive traffic to the site, not only gives us exposure, but also generates pennies towards our budget for each use.
And Doug Ford, does toning affect the grading process? Yes, when it comes to images, that's going to be another little hurdle, because I know that when you look at a picture, some toned pictures of coins or coins with toning look like they have less marks. When you get them in hand, you're like, oh, wow, and even sometimes when you have it in hand, people tend to overlook some of the marks on a coin when it has toning. It can be a concealer. So yes, that is a hurdle, and Mike probably can explain that a little bit better. Maybe
we have done some, lack of a better term, normalization of the toning of a coin before. It's kind of like a pre-process before it goes into the image portion layers of the artificial intelligence. So we've kind of taken care of it a little bit. About half the way, I guess. But there are going to be, we're really looking at details. It's not eye appeal. Luster, is difficult, but, we're looking at details. We're looking for marks. We're looking for different things, that can be ascertained from a photo. And tone is one of those things, but I guess I'm talking mainly about luster, that, we can only take it so far. And that's why there are those limitations, with the photographs. As far as, but to answer the question, as far as toning, we do normalize that quite a bit. And, it may introduce a little bit of error, but not a dramatic amount.
And is this going to be rolled out as a subscription model?
Okay. I just wanted to let everyone know again real quick that down in the description is a link to the website for Mintstate Coin Technology, as well as Florida and Lincoln is putting links to not only the YouTube channel, but to the website. So for anybody who's interested in helping, do yourself a favor. If this is a replay, you can still click on the links. They'll still work, and your help is definitely appreciated. So sorry about that. I don't know who wants to go next. Go ahead, Mike.
What was the question?
Not a subscription service was the question there.
Oh, well, every feature that is described on the page right now, we intend to be free. We earn passive revenue, and with the more users we have coming to the site, the more the passive revenue will start to cover the budget. Right now, it really doesn't even cover the servers that drive the site, but eventually it will. So it's kind of that that Google model, where eventually the advertising will be the revenue source that will drive the development. And fortunately, we've had some time to devote to the system, and it's all been donated. And we're needing a little bit more to kind of jump some hurdles, but I would imagine that most of these features would be free. There might be some special value add feature that maybe it costs us a little to provide, where we'd have to pass that expense on as a subscription of some kind. But we have no plans for that in the future at this point.
The main subscription right now is going over to Mintstate Coin Technologies on YouTube and subscribing to the channel, because we get to 1,000 views, we get 4,400 hours of viewing time. Then that helps us earn a little bit of revenue and Mike to do more development and get this thing going. So that is one subscription that we want, and it's free, so we're not charging for that one.
Peter Geohagen says, but doesn't the big money have tendencies to manipulate the system? Mike, I think I'll leave you answer that if you'd like.
If I was making strange faces, it's because I was hearing all these weird noises and you guys were jumping around on my screen. I don't know if I had an internet problem or if it was YouTube. But what was the question?
The question is, does big money have a tendency to manipulate the system? He's asking about investors, I believe.
Basically, if someone came in and plopped down 100 grand and said, "Hey, I want this," Yeah.
Again, I'm having a little bit of breakup, but I heard manipulate the system and 100 grand. So I'll comment on that. I think I know what you all are talking about.
Doesn't the big money have tendency to manipulate the system? Did you hear that?
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, there's always that potential. That's not our intent. That wasn't the spirit in which all the development so far, has occurred. If someone were to throw a bunch of money at this point, we would convince them that the passive revenue model is the way to go. Because we think once it gets bigger and bigger and a site becomes a place where a lot of people go for this type of information, it will generate, just by seeing a few ads, some sponsors and so forth, it will generate the revenues needed to continue development on a regular basis. Of course, there's a lot of money out there that they could throw it at us, but it's not our intent, and it's not like hey, if someone were to offer you $10 million, would you walk away from this? I'd probably have to say yes, honestly, but no one's done that yet.
Money does do a lot of things, but as far as
the need,
just the whole spirit of this is to do something for the future of the hobby, but like you said, money is always a factor in everything.
The need is out there too. If we're not going to fulfill that need, someone else is on a free type, schedule. Just, in the coin value itself, there's very few systems out there, and our system is one of them that adjusts, it's low end graded coins based on melt value. So if tomorrow silver went up $2, you're going to see a lot of these coins go up $1.50 or whatever the corresponding amount is. Just something simple as that, where people go and they look at pricing tables and it's based on what spot price, and you're dealing with the low end grade coins. $3 for a mercury dime, well, okay, but maybe it's worth $5 right now on spot. It isn't, but if it were, those numbers aren't getting adjusted. So just some of those very simple things can be done fairly easily, but the people in the industry just haven't done it. They're not motivated to do it. So there is a kind of a good reason to keep people a little bit hungry and wanting to impress and drive traffic to you, because once you kind of get big and relax, things don't move very quickly. You're content to get paid your salary, and you're not wanting to grow and impress and do the other things that
innovate
that your people want.
Yeah. It's true. You see that. You see that a lot in the grading business right now. It's kind of stuck in the same era. And don't get me wrong, they've added some features, like I said, the secure shield and that kind of thing, the chips and the holders and all that, which is a good thing. But as far as the grading is concerned, it's not progressed past people looking at a coin and saying, this is what grade I think it is. And I've been doing it for 10, 20 years and I know better. And that's basically what you got. I've worked for such and such a company for all these years. And I've been trained, and I'm really good at working dollars, and that's what grade I'm telling you it is. And they put it on the holder, and supposedly the committee's looking at it. I don't think they look at every coin. They get a commission for how many they grade in a day or month or whatever it is, I'm sure. I've heard that before too, and several comments. Like I said, I don't know that as a fact, but I've heard that plenty of times. So it's one of those things where this could bring in better consistency at one time. You never know. You just don't know. It just depends on how far it gets took and developed.
Okay, would you like me to bring that up, Mike?
Let's do some more questions. I mean, I could, but I was answering my own question. I was checking to see Mercury Dime what the melt value was. Right now, we're saying a 43S and AG is worth $1.90, and
melt value should be 190.
It's 191 right now.
Yeah, I have to check out all day long.
So yeah, that's just a one small feature that it was easy enough for us to implement, and all the other people will just confuse you with pricing, especially if you're just not acquainted with the pricing and so forth.
So now is that tied into the live spot price of gold and silver?
Yeah. We already have what we call the stack tracker application. And when you enter your information, I'm on an admin account, so there probably isn't much in there. If anything, there isn't. But if I had some records in here, in fact, I can hit the add button. It'll tell you right now spot and grams for silver coins, which is in the category I'm at, is 85 cents a gram. So when you put in the information, maybe I'm tracking peace dollars. Capitalization there. Peace dollar. I can, track the date I purchased it, where I got it from, its composition. Maybe it's a 90%. Spot is automatically generated for you. The weight, what are those? 31 point something grams. Just leave it at 31. Let's say I paid $20 for it right now, and I got one of them. And I just hit update, and I could put a picture of that in there too. Well, here it's saying, well, you paid $20, and right now the value is $23.71. Based on that information, and you can go to the report. And if you had multiple coins, you'd see a lot of lines here, but it'll break everything down, categorize it, and give you your actual gain based on the price that you bought it. For each transaction. So just like this tracks the spot price of precious metals, the pricing table uses that for melt value for those low grade coins, and then also the collection on the other side, when you're collecting specific coins, years, dates, or years, mints, and varieties, and so forth, that can be linked into the pricing table as well. So that would also adjust based on spot value. We're basically taking spot value, weight of the coin, and using that as kind of the baseline floor, and then above that is numismatic value when we're reporting the pricing.
I think we lost Robert.
Oh. Well, are we still working then?
Something happened.
Someone comment.
We're still live. It's still running. So my part of this whole thing was to give ideas of what I wanted to see in coin software. And Mike took it even further. I mean, I had all these ideas, and then he'd come up with all kinds of other ideas. So it's really, a great thing.
Not all of them are mine. A lot of them are suggestions from the users.
Right. And the other thing, and the rest of them come from the community members, at least people who are on my channel and commented on the videos and sent emails and went to the website. Yeah, I think that we are still up, but we can't speak with Robert and his. There's a little. You can see the Ike dollar reverse up.
Yeah, and I'm not seeing any new comments. If someone can comment, if you're still hearing us, let us know. But
we can't shut it down ourselves, but it's probably time at this point.
okay.
Let me see if I can get a hold of him. The message.
There I just had to take in. I had to.
Oh,
too much coffee.
Okay, we got thumbs up. You're still up. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, there he is. You're back.
Yeah. Like I said, I had to take a coffee break. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just took and muted my camera and my mic so that I didn't interfere with your guys' discussion. So I apologize for that.
Interfered. That would have been like the Naked Gun movie or something. That's your microphone. We're like, what's that? Is that a new feature? I'm probably at my limit, guys. I've been here since 5:30, so I'm ready to go back to my house, my pad.
Robert, I really appreciate you exposing us to your subscribers and so forth.
But next time we'll have to plan it a little bit better, and Daniel will remember his source codes. That's just a private joke between me and Daniel. However, folks, once again, I'd like to take and let you know there's a link right below in the description to the Mintstate Coin Technologies website. They do have a YouTube channel as well. So if you would, please take and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to the website. And, I help with the development whenever I get time. I haven't done it for a while, but I do get time to time. I may be able to get back into it now that my construction site is done, or it will be done tomorrow. But real quick, I'd like to thank Mike and Daniel for coming in and helping us to explain a little bit of the AI technology that is coming your way. And guys, this is just right around the corner. So we hope that you take and get on board, help with any knowledge that you have. I know Daniel was talking about people that specialize in different coins. I got a little bit of knowledge on Mercury dimes that I may be able to help add to it. But thank you, everybody, for sharing this. We hope you hit the thumbs up. We do hope you share it. Share it anywhere you'd like. We want to get the word out to help this technology move forward. Daniel, would you like to say something? Feel free.
Oh, I appreciate everybody for chiming in. Robert, as always, man, great to be on your channel with you. Great talking to you. I miss seeing you at the Green Hills. It just seems pretty tough anymore to get to the show. I didn't make it to the last one, but I will make it to January. That's my plan. So, but I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. And I thank everybody out there who commented and asked questions and subscribe to the channel, sure.
And Mike, go ahead. If you'd like to say any words.
We would love for you to come use the site and comment. We reply almost daily to everybody's comments based on the time. But I think if you come to the site, you'll find that it may not have everything yet, but what it does have, it does very well. Yeah. And it'll eventually get there. You just need to be a little patient. We've only been, the site's only been live for 2 months. And in those 2 months, we've probably had 10 different updates. So things are changing quickly. And as we get more people helping us, supporting us, and so forth, things will get to, where everything's very consistent and complete. You'll have all the varieties. You'll have all, proofs. You'll have, all the coins in there. And the grading will come very shortly after that.
Okay. I'd like to say that we will try and do another live. Maybe next time we'll do it on CoinHelpu's channel, or we may do it back here again. But we will give you all notification a little more in advance and possibly go over any updates, things of that nature. But just remember to like, share, and subscribe. And Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Thanks all.
Good night, all.
Thank you.